Joyce Feustel has been a LinkedIn tutor and trainer for over 10 years and has trained hundreds of business owners and job seekers on how to use LinkedIn effectively. She's trained groups ranging in size from 10 to 150, both virtually and in person. In addition, as a Toastmaster for over 25 years, she has also extensive leadership experience at both club and district levels. Please join me in welcoming our speaker today, Joyce Feustel.
Yay. Oh man, am I jazzed. I'm sorry Marek couldn't come, but I am so happy to hear Dan. What a perfect talk as a setup for what I have to share with you today. We will jazz this up, and here we go. So share my screen over to me. So just quick, Vicki, can you see my screen? Other
Yes,
people?
ma'am.
Okay, give me, all right. The place to stop. Oh, look at this. Conveniently, I wore the same sweater as in my cover photo. Ooh, pick something for this cover photo that people tell you you look great in. How do you be speaking? Whatever. Think of your brand, how you want to come across. If you have assets, so to speak, like say my ebook, my delightful logo, all of that. If you're a business owner, should be there. Now, if you're not a business owner, it might vary depending on your purpose of being on LinkedIn, of course. Profile photo, so important. I skated by the same one, I'm embarrassed to say, for 9 long years, just kept the skincare up, right? No, have it be current. Doesn't have to be quite so out there as mine. Looks like I'm a 2-year-old, just got a gift, right? But that's kind of how I act most of the time, just ask Tom. So at any rate, the picture is so important because when people have a chance to connect with you, when you pop up or something, they'll see only your picture, your name, and your headline. Therefore, we move to the headline. The headline is 220 characters. You don't have to use them all, but you have that much. So think through what you want to say about yourself. From a speaker, are you a keynoter like Rich Hopkins from my district? Are you more of a facilitator? What are you? What kind of a leader are you? All those words can be in there. And there's this cool little separator called the pipe key. That is where you hit the backward slash, but first you hit shift and then the backward slash, very slick. If you have something to toot your own horn about, like this one about recommended leader, most recommended LinkedIn coach, that's another thing to put in there, or your tagline. Now I'll let you in a little secret. In case you've been wondering about what are these hashtags I see on a lot of people's profiles, where do they even get those? Here's where they go, down to creator mode. So if you don't have it enabled, it'll be, of course, off. You click on the off button and you would see a blank area where you can start typing in. It'll just say topics, like somewhere in here. And you type in a topic. LinkedIn will throw in the hashtag. And when you type in a topic, then and you just click on the next one, it just automatically goes up. So you'll figure it out functionally. But the neat thing is you get all this extra real estate. Think about it. And your hashtags can be, well, not too long, but you don't have to worry about the length like you do with the overall length here, which is just 220. One other bonus, or many other bonuses, but the one other one I'm talking about today with Creator Mode is you can have a hyperlink to your website. Sure. You could have a company website of your own, maybe your company where you work, maybe a link to someplace like Vicki if you wanted to have it with a district website. So there is a thought. And how you do that is you go here to the pencil, then all the way down here to the edit custom button. And that's not only could you put the website in, but say if you had like booked me to speak or something, you could have a call to action up to 30 characters that just overlays the website. So that's all here at the top of it. And any questions, if you could chat them, please, to Vicki, and then she could send them to me. Sadly, we will not really have time for questions here. Now, moving along, we're going to skip some things. We're going down to, oops, I almost forgot contact info. Ooh, dear. Contact info, overlooked, like I almost did right there. Here is a little secret, another secret. If you have a bunch of random letters and numbers after your name, you could look kind of like a rookie user, and who needs that, right? So you want to change it? No problem. You go into edit mode like I'm in. You click here on the box and the arrow, and up here in the top right of this edit screen, you'll see a teeny tiny little pencil stub. And that's where you go to add your first name, your last name. Hey, Vicki, I'll keep using you as an example because you're a good one. So Vicki, you could just say Vicki Goodman, district director, District 84. I mean, obviously till next June 30, but that's a way to brand yourself. If you brand yourself more, perhaps in those district leadership years, in your Toastmaster way, like I did back in the 2000s, I had a position. I'm sure Tom was like that. He was district governor. So the point is, that's when you want to use that as a moniker. But otherwise, you would use, well, whatever you do for a living, like I do. I mean, your company name. Now, your email is a little tricky. There's only one email that can display in this section. So again, Vicki, you might use your business, your Toastmaster email. I use, of course, my business email, but do have it be consistent. Have it be the email you want people to reach you at. Now, watch this, folks. This is so cool. You have 3 different websites you can have. Again, in my case, I use the company website, my meetup group, which is very important to me. And just be respectful. Here we are, Toastmasters event. You could have Toastmasters or the district. You can have up to 3. And they are clickable, but they're kind of hiding. See, inside of contact info, whereas this one is just up front and center. Okay, now to featured. Featured is so darn cool. Let's face it, folks, LinkedIn is boring. Let's just say it. It is not exactly the most exciting site. It's certainly not TikTok or something. So you want to jazz it up. You want to jazz it up with your cover photo. And you can do that with featured. How do you get featured enabled? You go up here to add profile section. Click on recommended. And then here will be featured. Now, when you start, much like with the creator mode, it'll be blank, right? Or it'll be actually as a little graphic in here. And then watch this. You can feature a post, a repost. See, I've been reposting some of the things Maria sent out. You can repost those. And you can add a newsletter. It's really more the issue of the newsletter, which is available to you through, when you have creator mode, I can tell you more about that just offline. An article is also something you publish through LinkedIn, a little bit longer than a post. A link would be, say, maybe to a YouTube video. That would be a good example from a speaking standpoint, right? Or some other website, a landing page. Then media is a picture. Like this was a picture that District 84 made of me as a flyer to use in PR. So that's a picture. And then you could have, say, PowerPoints, things like that. So that's featured. So hopefully you're getting the kind of that, the idea of it. So that's me at a speaking engagement. I kept ones up that I thought would be relevant to this talk. Now, moving down, we get to the about section. So pesky. It's even for us, I think, as Toastmasters, it's hard to write a piece about ourselves and think about what you could say. Like, we'll use somebody different, like Beth. So you talk about keynotes. Ever since you were a little girl, did you like to stand up and tell people cool stories and people were entranced when you talk? I mean, something like that. Or, talk about the kind of groups you like to give keynotes to. What direction are you going? Who are you now? That just all of that belongs toward the top. But then I also like to have questions. So there's different approaches to this. So see how I'm trying to pull in people, my people who are the baby boomers born between 1946 and 1964. That's the bread and butter of my LinkedIn tutoring and training business. Not that I can't help people younger, and I do. Here's my origin story. But watch this, folks. You can use testimonials. My own LinkedIn coach told me about this idea. I'm like, oh, Wayne, brilliant. So you put in a love note you have handwritten, you carry it around when you're having a bad day, you're having an email. They have to get permission, though, from these people. Mine happened to be 2 of my most favorite recommendations. Sometimes you'll get those really good recommendations and they just kind of drop down there because it's all in the order when you got them. So think about how those you don't really need to get permission. They already went public to say how awesome you are. And this is kind of newer, the top skills. Very important to have these skills be consistent with the most important skills for you to represent yourself as. Moving down to experience. This is the more resume-esque part of a profile, but I'll give you a few suggestions. Tom will take you as an example. You do a lot of different kinds of speaking, types of training, things like that. So theoretically, you could create different positions for each of your offerings. And why do I say that? Oh, there's 2,600 characters, by the way, allowed in the about section. For each of the position descriptions, you have almost that many, 2,000 characters. Look at that. So you could describe what you do, who you do it for. Again, more love notes here, more testimonials. Furthermore, you can have these little thumbnails. You can have a PowerPoint. You can have a link to a video. You can have a picture. So again, we're getting a little splashes of color and interest here with each of these positions. I really encourage you to put your volunteer leadership roles into your experience section, not just only to volunteer. Here's why. It's so much higher in the profile, right? So more people are going to learn about She Leads Group or the Preferred Business Network. And especially you, Vicki, and others in the district level of leadership. My Lord, I've done that. You know, what do you have your day job and you have your next 40 hours and what you're doing there. And hopefully you got a low maintenance spouse or something, you know. So it's a lot of work. You deserve the credit, lady. And people can recommend you for it as well. So think about all those reasons. Now, for time's sake, I'm not going to jump all the way back nearly 20 years to tell you my whole life story in Toastmaster leadership, but I have been district governor like Tom. That was back when they called him a different name. I've done the social media chair. I've been club retention chair. All of that is in here. Just trust me. But again, we don't need to go way back all that time. Okay, projects. So awesome. Please give a note to Maria and tell her if she doesn't do a project for this event, I'm going to get on her case because this has been a lot of work. I know I've been back almost from when she had just the idea. So she can take that whole team that's part of the event and watch this. She'll put the event in the summit reach new heights and see what she can do. All the people who helped her, see, this is so cool. She can put them in as contributors. And they don't even have to tell her it's okay. She just pops them in there and they're notified. They have to be connected with her on LinkedIn. Isn't that slick? It's such a wonderful way to honor people who created something as magical as this event is. So that's projects. So there you go. Now going down, don't put the DTM, et cetera, in certifications. I'll tell you a better place. But now you may be wondering, Joyce, wait a minute. I don't have that project thing. Where do I get that? Oh, back to our friend add profile section. Okay, here we already talked about featured. Okay, if you've been tracking with me. License and certifications, that's more for like real estate or your massage certification or whatever. Projects, we just talked about. Courses. Maybe sometimes even in Toastmasters, we take professional development type courses. And it's in one of the places to ask for a recommendation. But watch now, additional. This is where you can add the volunteer experience, the publications, patents, maybe a few engineer types in here or something. Honors and awards, languages, test scores, very not relevant for people our age, and organizations. Okay, now back to show you how these display. Where are we? Okay, so we were just talking about project. Now, volunteering. This is how I handle my Toastmaster. If I put in every darn role I've ever had with a district, in every club I've been in for almost 27 years, oh my Lord, it would overshadow all the other things, right? So I don't want that. See, I just aggregated. See, all this is, let's see, what is Toastmasters? What am I doing now? And what did I do before? No, I guess theoretically I could put those years in, but I don't think that's that important. I did it, all right? From 2001 to 2013, I did something for the district. So when people ask me now to do things for the district, I say, I'm emeritus. I'm done. Don't ever ask me for district help again. Because I have a business, I work at 40, 50 hours a week, and I got my 3 clubs, and I do have a low maintenance husband. I couldn't be doing all this. Okay, now skills. Hey, you know what? In the olden days, which wasn't so olden maybe, you would have it listed by endorsements. But now, whenever you throw in a new skill, it's going to be at the top. Oh, oopsie, we don't necessarily put it there. So watch carefully. Okay. That means I have 5 minutes left, right, Vicki?
That's correct.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, but this is good because we're almost done with this part. All right, so then we go into this 3-dot, reorder. Then you just drag these babies up and down. So I just wanted you not to panic about that. Recommendations are very important. I have some cool ones from, thank you, Erica May, who's here, because these came about. I worked with Ruby, Erica. I gave her a free session just because I fell in love with Ruby. And so I made her write that or, say something nice. And then Dr. Rhonda, that was out of the blue. Anyway, I have some wonderful recommendations. Publications, I'll kind of cruise through here. Courses, this is where the DTM goes, folks, I think, or any other award you got. Toastmaster of the Year, any and other groups you're in too, and organizations. So to stay within time, I'm going to pop over to connecting. Now, here's people following me, asking me to connect. I want to show you, this is all well and good. And I'm going to say, let's say with, I have another one behind here. So here's this guy named Gabriel, who I've already scoped out, but I'm like, I just don't know about Gabriel. I'm not really sure. I've looked at him. So what I do here is I just go down like this and I write him a little message and say, hey, Gabriel, thanks for the invite. What prompted you to reach out to me? That's what I'm saying. But let's see, I'm looking for someone. This is really important if you take me up on, oh, here we go. Okay, see here. Oh, Kendall, why does it say connect now? She messed with me. Oh, no. It was supposed to say follow. Okay, let's pretend. Let's just pretend this says, oh, it is follow. Oh, okay. Now watch this. See, this is what happens. See this with her hashtags. When yours will look like this. So people have to know to go over to here, to more, and down to connect. And that's one of the reasons I hesitated on creator mode for a little while, worrying about my older people. Could they figure that out? Maybe not, but that's okay. You always get notified when people follow you anyway. So I just want to just go into that. Now, because of time, I need to skip over now to posting. And I want to show you this very cool pose. So we're getting this up and going back to where we are. So you can still see my screen, right? When you post on LinkedIn, in case this is all like new to you, you have to go to the home page. You can't do it out of your personal page. So watch this. And so I prepared this ahead of time, so I had it. So Dr. Maria. Of course, I hate to type in front of other people. There she is. So I want to thank her. See, I'm tagging her. It's called mentioning. And then also I'm just going to tag the district later, just so you get the idea. So here it is up there. So make sure you see my post. First off, be sure to follow me on LinkedIn. I'll get the PDF up. And one more thing I wanted to show you before we wrap up. Maury, who sadly couldn't be here today. You got to figure the president of Toastmasters probably posting about Toastmasters, right? So we go to her activity. There it is. Show all posts. Sure enough, there's one right there. She reposted from her own club. So I can repost this too. I could comment. I've already made one comment. So I wanted to make sure, I think we're right just about at the 20 minutes. If people need to scoot, I completely understand, but I'm happy to keep my LinkedIn up like this so that I'm just going to get my, just bear with me as we're wrapping up. So I'm going to turn it back to you, Vicki, to kind of, say, oh, Joyce, you're great, and applaud or whatever, but I need to I want to just stop talking.
We have about 1.5 minutes, Joyce.
Oh,
So
okay.
you told me to give your time, so go ahead.
So people start firing out questions. Just unmute and ask me a question or two while I can find what I'm looking for here.
Yeah, yes. In Facebook, we can see our friend list. Like that, is there any thing to see our contact or our friend list in this LinkedIn? In Facebook, we can see about friend list, how much friends we have. Like that, is there any LinkedIn to know?
Can you do me a favor and put your question in the chat, just because I think I'm losing you somewhere in a couple of words. I want to be respectful and answer it, but I'm just not quite following it enough. And while you do that, I can go over here and get my document that I can post, because I do want to help you. Okay, here. I'm just going for my, no.
How to see my friend list?
Yeah. So
I think the question, Joyce, is how do you see the friends list?
I see. Okay, I'll go right back to that. Yeah, just 1 minute. I have to go over to my LinkedIn training. I just need to get you guys a PDF. It's coming right up. 2023. There it is. Okay, now to answer your question, I'll go back to sharing. Share the screen. You want to see your friends list as in your connections, right, sir? Okay, so you go to my network. See this right here? You click on my network. I got to get this out of my way. There. Okay, my network. Now, see over here on the left, connections. That's where all your connections are. Did you know you can even search them with filters by state, by country, by company they're with? Even look at this. You can search them by location. You can search them actually by industry even. It's so cool. But that's where they are, Rukesh. Do you see that? You go to my network and then just over here to connections. That's your friends.
Thank you so much, Joyce.